And if you've got any questions about anything that you need to do to prepare, you'll get a chance to ask today. Yes, Bill, how can I help?
Why didn't you send the homework?
That was my fault. So I apologize to everyone for that.
You're so busy, right?
Yes, I've been a little bit disorganized recently because I'm updating how I'm keeping track of all of these lessons. And yeah, unfortunately, I do apologize.
Teacher.
Hello, Mary. But yes, I do apologize to you guys. That is entirely on me. So don't fret about not doing this homework because I got a bit turned around and never sent it. So I've been trying to go through the recordings of our class from earlier this week to find the teams that I set up, to find the topic and everything. So as soon as I find that, I will post those details again, unless somebody would be kind enough to remind me about the debate setup that we've got so far. Okay, so first of all, I just want to go through all of our key points about how a debate runs, the order of things, and the responsibilities of each speaker, just so that we really know what everybody has to do. Okay. Still can't get over the fact that I know how to use the text function on this app now. I don't have to messily scribble everything. So okay. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we're going to go over the responsibilities of each member of a debate team. And with the teams, I'm not going to make you guys, I'm not going to assign you guys a place in the team. It'll be up to you guys as part of the team to work out who's going to be the first speaker, who's going to be the second speaker, so on and so forth. And one of the other classes who I did this with yesterday, a really good little idea that they had was they organized Zoom meetings with the members of their team so that they can research together and discuss which arguments they're going to present. So yeah, there's a good idea for you guys if you need to keep in touch with your team members. Okay. Okay, so we have our 3 members of each team for a standard debate team. I think with our class, we had 2 teams of 4 or 2 teams of 5. So each additional speaker will just take on the role of another second speaker on their team. So can I please get somebody to tell me, I'm just logging into Zoom on my phone as well, but can I please get somebody to tell me, what does the first proposition speaker have to do when they speak during a debate? Bill, can you tell me something that the first proposition speaker has to do when they speak during a debate?
They have to say that.
Well, first of all, what do they have to introduce into the debate? What do they have to tell everybody at the debate?
They have to tell that do they agree or not agree? Then
Very good. So the first proposition speaker has to introduce the motion. Very good, Bill. Mary, I saw you have your hand up. What's another job that the first proposition speaker has to do?
no, I didn't put up my hand.
I saw that your hand was raised. There was a little box with a picture of a hand and it said Mary in it. So I thought you put your hand up.
Writing, so how can I write and put my hand at the same time?
I don't know. You must be very skilled, but I saw a little box on the screen that said Mary with a hand up. But if you didn't, you didn't. Tina, are you able to tell me something that the first proposition speaker has to do?
So they're gonna also first opposition or
First proposition still.
they're gonna have to like defend their side by making up with arguments.
Very good. They are going to have to deliver, or they're going to have to lay out the team arguments. Let us know what they're going to be arguing in that during that debate. Very good. And finally, what is the last job of the first proposition speaker? Spike, do you know?
What, teacher?
What is the last job that the first proposition speaker has to do? He has to introduce the motion. They have to tell everybody what their team's argument is, and what's the last job that they have to do?
They have to teach students.
No, not quite. So what is the main thing that you have to do during a debate?
Need to work team.
Good, need to work as a team.
And
But what does that team need to do? They need to present something.
they need to do work with their team.
Good. They need to present their arguments as well, because that's the whole point of a debate, is to present arguments for your side of the debate. Okay, next up, we're going to move over to the first opposition speaker. What is something that the first opposition speaker has to do? Mary, I definitely saw you put your hand up that time.
Yes. I think they need to say they need to present their own arguments why they disagree with the topic.
Very good. They need to present their own arguments. They need to announce their position against the motion. Very good. What else do they need to do? Mayanne? What else does the first opposition speaker need to make sure that they do when they speak?
I think they need to give each other opinion to give the correct answer.
Right, they need to deliver their own arguments. Good. So what is something important for the opposition team to do? What do they need to do against the arguments made by the proposition?
They disagree the proposition.
Very good. So they announce their position against the motion. So they have to let everyone know that they're against it. But what else do they have to do? Starts with the letter R. They need to do rebuttal. They need to rebut against the proposition's arguments. They need counter arguments and rebuttals. And finally, they also need to lay out their team's arguments. So first opposition speaker is going to be quite busy. They've got a lot to do in their time limit.
Teacher,
Yes.
sometimes I watch the context about debate that they like. There was two person arguing against each other, and they like one is talking, one is writing, and when the like there are the first two people, the first one is talking and the second is writing, and like when the first one is finished, I see that the second one said back what the first one said and disagree of it.
Yes, very good. That is rebuttal. So when, for example, the first proposition speaker is speaking, you're very right, Bill. The first opposition speaker will sit there and listen very carefully, and they'll take notes about everything that the first proposition speaker has said. And the reason that they do that is so that they have notes to remember what arguments to offer rebuttals for. So yes, that will be an important part of the debate, is taking notes of the speaker that you have to offer rebuttals to. So very good, Bill. That is a very important part of the debate. Well done for picking that up. Okay, we move on to the second proposition speaker now. And the second proposition speaker has two main jobs to do. What are those jobs? Mary, I'm just going to pick on you because I feel like it. What's one of the jobs of the second proposition speaker?
What?
I said, what is one of the jobs of the second proposition speaker?
Second proposition speaker, they need to present.
Very important part of the debate. We were just talking about it.
They need to
Starts
present
with the letter R.
rebuttal against the
Very good.
opposition's team.
Very good. Very good. So the second proposition needs to offer rebuttals against the first opposition's arguments. Very good. And can I get Sally Ride? What is the other job of the second proposition speaker? So their first job is to rebut against the first opposition's arguments. No worries. Well, you can type your answer in. So what is the other job of the second proposition speaker? They have to offer rebuttals against the opposition arguments. And what else do they have to do? Great.
Rebuttal against first opposition's arguments.
Good. And what else do they have to do? They have to present something else.
What is strengthen?
Present, that means to deliver their speech. So if I present my arguments, that means I'm giving a speech about my arguments.
But I'm asking about the strengthen.
Strengthen. So the second proposition speaker, probably their most important job is to present their arguments that they've got and present evidence to back those arguments up so that they make their team's case stronger. Because the more arguments and the more evidence you offer, the stronger you can make your team's arguments. You can make your team's case. Excuse me. Seem to be getting the hiccups a lot recently. I don't like it. But yes, so to present means to give the speech, and to strengthen means to make stronger. Okay, so can I please have Sonic? Can you please tell me what the jobs of the second opposition speaker are?
The second proposition job are
Second opposition, yep.
the second opposition job is. Can you give me an example?
I can. So the second opposition's jobs are They're identical to the second proposition's jobs. So the second opposition has the same jobs as the second proposition speaker.
Press.
So they've got two jobs and they're the same jobs as the second proposition speaker.
Rebuilder.
Very good. So their first job is rebuttal against second proposition arguments. Very good. And it is Tina, very good. And finally, can I get Brian, can you tell me the other job of the second opposition speaker?
Present more arguments and evidence.
Very good. Very good. Present more arguments and evidence to strengthen their team's case. Very good. Now, finally, we come to our third proposition speaker. Mary, can you tell me what the third proposition speaker has to do?
The third proposition needs to rebuttal against the second
No rebuttals
opposition.
this time. No rebuttals this time. There's only two jobs for the third speakers and they're both the same.
They present more arguments and evidence to strengthen their team.
Nope.
I don't.
Tina sent me a message. Very good, Tina. So the first job is to summarize their team's arguments. Very good. Same as the third opposition. They also have to summarize their team's argument. And very good, Min. You have to offer, or you have to deliver closing statements. Okay, guys, so make sure that you write this stuff down because depending on which member of the team you are, everything that you're going to need to do, everything that you're going to need to talk about is on the whiteboard right now. So this is really going to help for your debate prep. So I'll leave this up for another minute or two. And then next, I would like to give you guys your first few steps about where to start, basically. Okay, and just to let you guys know as well that in between the second opposition speaker and the third proposition speaker, so I put a line there, we'll have a question and answer session or a Q&A. And that will be my chance as the judge, and you guys will also get the opportunity to ask each other questions as well. You want to ask questions of the people on the opposing team, by the way, not people on your own team. So yeah, you get a chance to ask them questions and try and find weaknesses in the arguments that are prepared. So yeah, so make sure that you're thinking of lots of rebuttals and counter arguments for your team before the debate, so that you can think of questions to ask them as well, so that you can try and trip them up, find weaknesses in their arguments. Okay, does anybody need more time to write? Does anybody need more time to write these jobs down?
No, I just print my screen.
I
Very
just
good. Very good. So yeah, if at least one of you print screens, you can pass this around. Very good. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is the first steps to take in preparing for your debate. So the first thing that I want you guys to do is to get in touch with your teammates. So this will be outside of class. You'll need to get in touch with your teammates, meet with each other to discuss arguments, come up with a list of arguments, come up with a list of possible rebuttal arguments as well. Sorry, I'm just writing this down. I want to make sure that I remember everything, so I'll type it in. Okay, so my idea was to use the Zalo group for the class. But one of the students from a class yesterday just had the idea, why don't we just make Zoom meetings, and then that'll be easier than trying to figure out whose parents are whose and get in contact with everybody. You can just go ahead and arrange, you can just go ahead and arrange the class meetings on Zoom. Okay, so the next thing you'll need to do once you've gotten in touch with your teammates is you'll need to work out with your teammates who will take each role on the team. Because each member of the team, as we just talked about, has different jobs, different responsibilities, different things they need to prepare for. So, so now you've got that list from when we just talked about it. Work that out with your teammates, work out who you think is going to be your best opening speaker, who's going to be the best few speakers to deliver the bulk of your arguments. So that'll be all of your second speakers, and then work out who's going to be your strongest closer and who's going to leave the strongest, not opinion, the strongest impression with the audience. So who's going to help the audience or me remember your arguments the best? Okay. Number 3. Once you've worked out who is going to, once you've worked out who's going to be which speaker, the next thing you'll need to do with your team is brainstorm a list of ideas. We went over brainstorming in a previous lesson where you just write all your ideas down on a sheet of paper and then you try and organize them into categories to keep them organized, and that'll be a nice help for which arguments you need to deliver. What's that face for, Mary? Okay, so number 3, with your team, brainstorm a list of ideas of arguments that your team can make to support its case. Then decide which team member will need to deliver each argument, and then do the same for counter arguments and rebuttals. I really can't stress just how much easier your debating experience will be if you pre-prepare your rebuttals in advance. I mean, you might come up with some arguments that the other team doesn't use, but you'll come up with a lot of arguments that they will use, and that will really make it easier for you to offer rebuttals if you prepare a few in advance. Okay, number 4. Start researching for evidence to support your arguments. Now, so I'm talking about doing this before you start writing your arguments. So if you can't find any evidence to support your argument, don't use that argument. And yeah, so that will be an important one for you guys. If you can't find any evidence that supports your argument, don't use that argument, because in a debate, we really need strong formal evidence. Whereas those of you that take a persuasive writing class with me, you'll know that our definition of evidence can be a lot looser. We can have things like examples, personal stories, things like that. But yeah, in a debate, we want mostly, so examples are okay, but we want a lot of use of like statistics, studies, really formal evidence for our arguments. And finally, number 5, then oh no, my whiteboard went away. All right. So I'm going to wrap all of this up again. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry, I'm just writing these notes back up. Then I'll tell you about step 5, and then we'll talk about how the debate will actually run. I'm typing as fast as I can, Mary. No need to be impatient.
Why can't while you time you can read to have some more fun?
Well, I mean, you guys can, like, while I'm doing this, you guys can chat to each other and have a bit of fun. But I want to get this done as quickly as possible.
But we didn't know each other.
We'll get to know each other. You're going to be teammates soon.
No. I'm bored.
My goodness, you have such a short attention span. Okay, here we go. So number 5 is start writing your arguments for the debate. I recommend that you check in with your teammates regularly. So even if you guys end up just creating your own group chat in the on Zalo just for your team, so that you guys can, maybe you might find some good evidence that could help one of your teammates with their arguments while you're looking for evidence for your own. So you can send them evidence links and stuff like that. Okay, so these are the first 5 things that I want you guys to get onto. So make sure you've got all of these instructions written down, because this is really going to help you guys to work as a team and create nice, strong arguments for the debate. So, all right, so I'll leave that up for just another minute. And then the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about is how the debate will actually be structured. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that somebody has screenshotted that, and we'll move on. Now, debate structure, how things are going to run. So, first of all, on the day of the debate, there are a few things that I would like to happen, or there are a few things that will happen. Number 1, we all need to be in class on time, because as you'll see with this debate structure, the debate is going to take up pretty much all of the hour. So we're going to want to make sure that we get a chance to do everything. So if we're in class ready to start on time, then we will be able to get everything done. Now, a debate is a formal conversation, basically. So we want to make sure that we're wearing nice clothes. So we don't have to wear like full on, tuxedos and, go crazy with our clothes, but just for the boys, a nice button up shirt, nice pair of pants, comb your hair neatly. For the girls, nothing too casual. So like no sundresses or like strappy clothes, like a nice top, and like a nice skirt or a nice pair of pants, just looking nice and casual, but very neat casual, I'd say. I actually had one student request to wear their, yes.
Can we wear can we wear our tops?
Your tops? What tops?
Oh, you don't know about it.
So imagine that you are going out to a very nice restaurant with your family for dinner. How would you dress for that? You might wear like for the boys again, a nice button-up t-shirt and a pair of pants. For the girls, you might wear one of your nice dresses. You might wear or a nice shirt with a nice skirt or a nice pair of pants. Yeah, just dress nicely, not casually. So like no singlets, no t-shirts, no shorts. Just yeah, dress nicely is how I would say it. We want to make sure that our arguments and our evidence is fully prepared and ready to be delivered. So all of your work, all of your research, all of your arguments, everything should be done, dusted, ready to go on the day. And the only thing we should be worrying about is, the only thing we should be worrying about on the day is just presenting the argument. That's it. My final tip is I want everybody to change their name to the number of speaker,
What are we?
the team, and your name. So I'll give you an example of that because that will help me keep a lot easier. That'll help me keep track of the debate on the day a lot easier. If I just look on the screen and see. So for example, the name might be First Proposition Speaker Michael. So that is how I'd like everyone to have their names. So if you're the second, third, fourth speaker on your team, it'll be, I don't know.
How do we know
Third,
the number?
because you and your teammates will work that out together.
Oh, yes.
So you guys will decide as a team how to, who's going to be which speaker on the team. You'll work out your arguments together and then decide who will present which argument. Yeah.
Oh,
Excellent.
time.
It won't take a long time. If you got together with your teammates in a Zoom call, and you spent maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours together, you could easily come up with all of your positions. You could easily come up with a list of arguments. You could also come up with a list of counter arguments, and you could also assign those arguments to each speaker. So then all that would be left to do would be to go and research your arguments and start writing your arguments. So it will be quite a bit of work, but you can get it done easily enough. Okay, so let me just clear this. I've got a bit more space to write. Okay, so now the actual structure of the debate will be as follows. First of all, I will introduce, I'll give a quick introduction for the debate. So yes, I'll introduce the teams, I'll introduce the topic, and yeah, so I'll give an introduction for the debate. Introduce the topic and the teams. Okay, then number two, because I think we had even teams for this class, I will so yeah, I'll act as the interlocutor for this class as well. So yeah. Okay. So yes, I'm going to go back and check the video of last class where I assigned everything. If there are even teams, I'm going to be the interlocutor as well. So I'll also read out the rules of the debate. If any of you have a question about any of the rules on the day, you're more than welcome to ask me, and it is my job as the interlocutor to clarify the rules. I'm going to make sure the debate runs nice and smoothly. I'll make sure that if there are any genuine disagreements, we settle everything down and keep the debate flowing smoothly. Okay, after that, the first proposition speaker will speak. And I have decided to give you guys a time limit of 3 minutes and 30 seconds to deliver your arguments and do anything else you've got to do. Now, with these arguments, so with this time limit, the ideal time to aim for your speech is about 3 minutes and 20 seconds. And then you've just got that last 10 seconds just to take a breath, thank the audience, thank the judges for listening, and finish your speech. If your arguments only go for about 1 minute, 30 seconds to about 2 minutes, that is not long enough. You'll need to make your speech longer. And anything over 3 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll be deducting points for going over time. Okay, next, we know the order of speakers. So we'll go through first opposition. Okay, second opposition. So then I believe so I think we had 2 teams of 4. So we'll have our third proposition and opposition speakers. And then after that, we will have Q and A sessions. Okay, so before the final speakers of each team get a chance to speak their arguments, we'll have a 10-minute. I'll have a 10 to 15-minute question and answer session. And so that'll be my chance to ask you guys some questions about your arguments. And you'll also get a chance to ask each other questions about your arguments, try and find weaknesses, try and find things to, yeah, you're basically looking for an opportunity to discredit the other team in the hope that I might deduct some points for not having researched your arguments properly, basically. Finally,
Why did you stop talking?
because I am thinking as I'm writing.
You should have
So,
told us.
okay, so then the final speakers for each team will speak after the question and answer session. And then once that's all done, the judge will tally the points and work out the winner. And that's how our debate. What does tally mean?
No.
Yes.
Yes. And what if the judge is not fair?
Now, why would I not be fair?
What if the judge would not be fair?
But why would I not be fair, Mary?
But I said what
But
if
it's going to be me.
Yes,
Well-
but just always fair because the one that opened the contest will choose the fair judge.
Okay, well, if you feel that my decision in deciding the winner was unfair, you can put in a formal protest. So you can raise your hand and then you can say, I don't think you decided the winner fairly. Here are my reasons why. So make sure again you give your reasons, give some evidence if you don't think that I decided the winner fairly. And I will give you a chance to plead your case and explain to me why you think your team should have won. So, but that's only if you think I'm being unfair. If you just lose the debate and you're just gonna be like, well, I want to win, don't do it for that reason. Only make a protest if you truly think that my decision was unfair. But again, make sure that you are able to provide reasons for why you think I was unfair. Don't just say, oh, my team lost, that's not fair. Does that make sense to everybody? Terrific.
Maybe.
Okay, so I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that to mean yes, it does make sense.
No, I'm going to take it
Okay.
as no.
I'm gonna take it as yes. So we have our rules. Oh, not our rules yet. I've got to write those out. So yeah, we have our structure. We have what I expect of you on the day. And yeah, so I'm going to go back through your lesson from Tuesday now. I'm going to find I'm going to find the topic in the teams, and I'll post that in the Zalo group to for you guys to start getting together and working out your team arguments. Do we have any questions? Mary, if you keep that up, I'm going to start talking at a snail's pace. It'll drive you crazy. Does anybody have a question for
Oh,
me?
teacher! It's not funny. Or I'm going to shoot
It is a
you with
little
my
bit.
gun.
No, you're not. Okay, so in being serious though, before we wrap up, does anyone have any questions about what is expected of you in this debate?
No?
Very good. In that case, I will leave you guys. I'll see you on Tuesday. And I'm going to get
What
all
does
of these
tally
debate
mean?
details. What does what? Tally?
What does tally mean?
So tallying is an easy way of counting. Have you guys ever seen when somebody's trying to count something really quick and they'll go, what? Oop, I should probably have
No,
my
we
pencil out back.
times.
Have you ever seen somebody count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they use little groups like that, count groups of 5?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
That's a tally. So
I usually count
So
by timing it.
very clever. Well, if you need to count small amounts quickly, you'd use a tally to count them, and that's when you go 1, 2, 3, 4, group of 5.
That easy.
1, 2, 3, 4, group of 5.
Teacher,
That's
So yeah,
plenty.
that is a tally.
Teacher, will you
20.
teach us about like writing the
Pardon?
debate? Will you teach us how to write the debate? Let's get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, on Tuesday, we'll spend that lesson going through. We'll spend that lesson going through how to actually write an argument for a debate.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I'll give you guys. Pardon?
Your country is like 1 p.m.
Exactly. Yes, it's 3 minutes past 1 p.m. now.
And now we have 10 a.m. and 3 minutes.
That's right. Yeah, 3 hours behind.
Yes,
It'd be
too
10
early.
a.m. for you guys.
It's just too early for me.
This is too early.
Yeah.
You sound like me. You like to sleep in. You sound like me.
No,
Okay, so
I like sleeping, but every morning I woke up at 5 o'clock, or sometimes I will wake up at like 4 o'clock.
wow, that is an impressive sleep in. Bye, Mary, if you need to go. But before you do, So the main important thing, just to answer Bill's question, the main important thing about writing an argument for a debate is your teal paragraphs. So remember and practice writing teal paragraphs, but focus more so on the structure. So make sure you've got a good topic sentence, make sure you expand well in your explanation and provide quality evidence. So that is going to be the majority of your debate speech, is just reading those teal paragraphs. And the parts that I'll help you with are things like introductions, setting up rebuttals, and stuff like that on Tuesday. Okay, so you have your instructions. I'm going to go back right now and watch your lesson from Tuesday to find out your topics and your teams. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. Have a great weekend.
See you tomorrow, teacher.
See you tomorrow, Mary.
But can you speed up by saying that? Goodbye.
I'll see you
Okay, I'll leave this meeting. Goodbye.
tomorrow, Mary.
Goodbye, teacher.
Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
Bill. Bye, everybody. Thank you for class today.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.